Hello, my crafty friends. Today I am sharing a pop-up Halloween card. So the front is fairly simple because all of the fun is on the inside. I used Karen Burniston's new garden bench pop-up. Oh, I'm having so much fun with this one. Let's go over some of the details on my card. I started off with my patterned paper, Night and Fall. This is an older patterned paper pad. It's 12 by 12. It was from Recollections. I've had it in my stash for years. Every year I pull it out for fall and Thanksgiving cards and I never seem to get through the pad. So this patterned paper on the front there is sparkly bits in the stripes, which is kind of fun. The yellow polka dot is also from the pad. I used Karen Burniston's new Happy Halloween. And I really like that it also comes with a shadow die. So I die cut the shadow from cream, the Happy Halloween from black, and then went over the black with a wink of Stella for some sparkle. The circle on the front uses her crosshatch circles, which is alternating crosshatch and straight edges. And you can see on the straight edge, you get this nice embossed detail on it with no effort on your part. That just happens when you run it through your machine. I spritzed this with shimmer spray to add more sparkle. This little pumpkin here, I have a strip that I'll show you in a minute that just had some pumpkins from the same pattern paper, and I just fussy cut one of the border pumpkins and tucked it in on the bottom there. And the bats come from the new Haunted Tiny House add-ons. So there's bats and ghosts, and this die set allows you to create a haunted house out of the tiny house pop-up if you have that die set. But there's some fun extra dies that you can use, and that's what I did for my card today. So that's where the bats came from, and inside, as I said, is the garden bench. So this new garden bench is a revamp of an older licensed one that she had years ago. This one is actually a glue-in. There's tabs that you glue it in versus the other one that had to be cut into the cardstock. So I added more pattern paper from my pad. The base is a cream cardstock base, and this is larger than A2. It's an A6 size. So folded, it is 6 inches by 4.5 inches. I cut my bench out of the same cream cardstock. It's kind of a heavyweight cardstock. I actually cut it again out of the wood grain pattern, snipped it all apart to have just the bench part to be wood grain and a little border of cream at the top and the bottom and cream bench arms. But boy, it sure didn't look very good in the card. There was not enough contrast. So I've saved that to use on another card. Here's another fussy cut pumpkin. The bats and the spider, that comes from the Haunted Tiny House add-ons. Now, I forgot to bring them over, but these rectangles are from her slim flaps and frames. So I just chose 2 of them, black and cream cardstocks, and the Happy Boo Day. That is from Sassy Pants Spooktacular by MFT Stamps. Lots of fun sentiments in that one. Let's get sheet-faced, have a wicked birthday, you're not a basic witch, if you've got it, haunt it. Just some really fun, sassy sentiments in that set. Now the garden bench pop-up also comes with the pillow dies and the platforms that you can add to create little pop-up pillows. There's 2 sizes. There's one that's a little bit deeper than the other. I chose the one that is the deepest. And I wanted to show you how I made my little jack-o'-lanterns on the pillows. So you can see in the Haunted Tiny House, there are 2 pumpkins. This one has a stencil feature, so you can have just a pumpkin, or you can cut it out of black and then die cut this one out of orange, layer the 2 together, and the openings then will show the black through it, and you have kind of an instant jack-o'-lantern. So I chose this pumpkin here, and I die cut it from one of those strips of cardstock. So I only had a strip about this long left in the package. Here's my fussy cut pumpkin that I used by the garden bench there, and I fussy cut another one that was here, and that's my pumpkin on the front of the card. So I laid my little pumpkin or my little jack-o'-lantern die right in the center of those sparkly pumpkins, and it die cut the jack-o'-lantern face as well as the pumpkin shape, and then I glued them onto my black pillows. So I didn't have to do anything else, and I got my little cute jack-o'-lantern pillows. I went over the spider and the bats with Wink of Stella, so they're nice and sparkly, and the moon is another one of the crosshatch circles. It's the smaller one here, cut from the same yellow pattern paper, and then used a trimmer to just cut two sides of it down so it could nestle up in the corner. I thought about adding a sentiment or banners, but in the end, I was just quite happy with how the card turned out. Now look how flat this card folds. It will mail for a single stamp in a standard A6 envelope. If you enjoyed my card today, please give my video a thumbs up. That really does help me out on YouTube. And subscribe to see more. That's it for me today.